Okay, this is Tiny's week one drill. Okay, same thing that I mentioned with Maven. While you're doing these, I would try to play around with that tunnel send distance just for fun, just to mix it up. But this is excellent. Oh, does look like she left a teeny bit early. I don't know if that's she does that all the time, but but since we have this, a lot of times dogs will do this coming out of the tunnel, or they just get used to this exact distance and they get used to coming out of tunnel, stride, and then jumping. Well, but if you notice, she does go a teeny bit early. It's not terrible or anything, but it's just worth noting, I think. So she peaks right there versus there. So it's probably about, I don't know, a good 2.5 feet early. She clears the jump. She's an athletic dog, and so she can easily clear it. But see this distance on the landing side? See how, let's see, that's one tiny body length over the jump. And then if I mark that spot, then she lands almost right afterwards. So almost it's so her landing side is just barely over one length. The camera moves here, so one way to clearly see this, if you're curious about this stuff, is to set the camera and actually use a tripod, so that way your frame of reference doesn't change. See where she leaves from though? So that's one whole tiny length, and then another to actually make the jump. So she jumps from two body lengths away, and she lands like that. And again, you can see her peak is right there. But this is excellent. That's the rest of that's all excellent. I just wanted to point that out. Something for you to maybe notice, pay attention to, see if that is just a one-off or if it's a common thing. It's going to be harder to say now because these are wraps. So yes, you are absolutely right. She does try to put in a little check stride there. So she does her best. So before, she launched from about here. And this time, she goes up closer to the jump. And while she's doing it, she does try. But you're right, she lands straight. And what we really want is her to take off. What would have been ideal is if she put in a check stride right about there and took the jump at an angle and landed about here. I think that so she does a really nice job here of trying to adjust to you and just going off your verbal. But physically, you're going to have to give her stronger turning cues. Um, you're able to kind of get away with it a little bit more with Maven because Maven's so much smaller, and you have these extra strides for Maven to make that adjustment, all that. But for Tiny, it's going to be you're going to have to give more physical cues. Um, so I would suggest going to really turn into her with your lower body and then with your upper body, either one, probably two hands, telling her to take the jump. It's kind of hard to describe, but I will try to get you some videos. If you work with Lindsay at all, I think maybe you're going to work with Lindsay on the side a little bit or something. Ask her. Tell her Scott said to show you how to physically cue. Not with your verbals. Your verbals are fine. You know how to train verbals. That's okay. But we don't really go over that much in the class. I don't really go over it at all. I don't think in our beginner class. But what Tiny needs is a stronger physical turning cue from you. And Lindsay Blaine has beautiful raps that she trains. So she would be an excellent person to help you with that in person. If you see me anytime soon, I can show you. I can try to get you some videos, examples of it, or I can show you in person easily if I ever see you in person. Well, next, you know what? I'll see you this weekend at the least. I'll see you in a couple days, Friday, at the trial. Okay, so see there, she lands way too early. You want her to land there. And again, physically, we need you to give a stronger turning cue. But she's responding very well to your verbal and your softer cues physically. So she's doing her best. She's doing a good job, and you're doing fine. But if you want a tighter wrap, and I think you do, you're gonna we'll go over that.